Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 1st of August. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. As we come into this new month, what I'm going to do is give you a flavour of what to expect for us all collectively. But please stay with me as I dive deep to give each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces a much more forensic interpretation. Now, this week does see an incredibly powerful combination of energies in the sign of Taurus. Taurus, of course, is very much about the foundation of our situations. It's about stability. It's a fixed sign. But the North Node, which moved into Taurus on the 18th of January, is almost like the karma of our attitude towards consumption, food, anything to do with consumerism, but it can also be to do with the crust of the planet as well. Now, when we put Uranus in the mix, that can be very much to do with truth, but it can also be to do with confrontation and being much more changeable in a sign that resists change, so that can create tension. And then Mars in the mix, that creates an ignition point, particularly with Uranus. So the potential for weather events that are quite extreme is definitely increased with this combination, and it can make us much more aware of the direction of travel that we're going in terms of, the type of fuels that we've used traditionally and the way that we've perhaps embraced fast food rather than enjoying more rustic consumption of food and making food from scratch. That's much less popular than it ever used to be. I think Uranus can throw some light on all of this and give us a bit of a shock to look at things again. So there can be a lot of tension this week, but also the outcome of our behaviour over a period of time. Now, the Sun and Mercury, of course, the Sun's in its home zone of Leo. Mercury's there at the start of the week, but on Thursday it does move into one of its two signs that it governs, and this one is Virgo. In this case, Mercury is very much about dry precision. This is about attention to detail. And that can be a very good thing. So if you've got a creative idea, but you want to bind it into something that's more workable, then Mercury will certainly help that process. There's also on Friday a quarter moon in the sign of Scorpio. Now, this can bring up some issues to do with jealousy, possessiveness, control in any relationship, but particularly a close personal relationship. For some folks, it could mean that we're going to have a big fascination with someone, particularly with Mars and Uranus in the mix, and it could be something that's very electric, but whether it will be long lasting is another matter. Now, it just so happens that Mars and Saturn are also in a right angle this week. This is really quite challenging. This is where we have Mars, which is very much about moving quickly, instant gratification, coming up against the more resistant energies and limiting energies of Saturn. Saturn in the sign of the collective, Aquarius in a retrograde, Mars in the sign of Taurus, very much about consumption. Quickly, I want it now, that instant gratification. So I think there's going to be some more potential shocks and pushbacks around the cost of living, unfortunately. We could also see some industrial disputes with all this mix of energies, but there is, towards the end of this week, a quite enchanting link between Venus and Neptune, both in water signs, Venus in Cancer, very nurturing, and Neptune in its home sign of Pisces. If you are lucky enough to have that electric connection to someone, but there is also some more spiritual or emotional connection beyond the physical plane, then this could be a really exciting opportunity. For those of us in ongoing relationships, I think the important thing to avoid this week is being too fixed in our ideas, trying to be flexible, with 4 lots of fixed energy going on with the quarter moon. So we've got the Leo stuff, the Scorpio quarter moon, we've got that cluster of energy in Taurus, plus we've got the Saturn in Aquarius. There's a lot of fixed energy and then a lot of frustration can play out this week. So it's going to be important to try to keep cool But please stay with me for my in-depth examination of your sign. But if you would like to ascend above zodiac astrology and understand more about your personal astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data in terms of your time, date and place of birth, I can give you a roadmap that can guide you for the rest of your life. But beyond that, also in my 30% off special offer package, a 12-month personal horoscope. No 2 charts are ever the same. They're completely individually produced for the person that provides that data. And if you'd like to take advantage of that, please see the link below. Finally, crash through the 100,000 subs mark. We're pretty well nearly at the 101,000 mark, may even be through it by the time you watch this. But if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. If you have done already, thank you so much. So your week commencing the 1st of August forecast, Virgo. See such a lot of energy in your 9th house. The 9th house is where, we really want to be adventurous, independent, quite risk-taking, particularly with Mars and Uranus together. And if you're fenced into a situation which the details of which are becoming more and more of a drag to your energy, such as a job which isn't particularly fulfilling, a relationship which you feel that, there's bickering and the details are kind of frustrating the big picture. There's not much spontaneity. All these issues could come to the fore this week, particularly with the sun being in your 12th house and going into that quarter moon, because maybe some discussions are going to reveal some more discontent from someone that you're attached to in some kind of way. But the wonderful news is that Mercury returns to your sign on Thursday, and that can move you more into the moment. Also, Venus is in a very friendly location, and it's linked to Neptune. So just someone that you are talking to, it could be a friend. Maybe you can get out and do something together that can see you just be much more spontaneous. And that would be a very healthy thing to do. But if it feels all your options are rather fenced in and limited, then I think that's going to start to starve the oxygen of joy from your situation. So what to do? Well, the important thing to understand about your nature is that you do like to be of service, not servile. So it really gives you great satisfaction to help people or to be involved in processes that may require great attention to detail, but are part of the very, very important cogs that provide help to others. That really gives you a lot of pleasure. And of course, also having your world well regulated and organized often is something that sees Virgo people at peace. But if there is a sense that it's a lot of give at the moment, a lot of sacrifice, you're needing to be aware of other people's situations, you're needing to show a lot of psychological insights, but you don't seem to get anyone showing much in your situation, I feel that there could be a lot of temperature and heat building up, and it may need an outlet. And that outlet could be through something vigorous and quite physical, or it could be through travel, or it could be through using your mind. But in one way or another, you do need some space to be your own true free spirit at this time. And if you don't get it, it could cause quite a lot of combustion.